of the day today is not from the winning team. The man of the match was given to Jason Roy for his 60 runs, but our player of the day is SAMSON, the Rajasthan captain, who stroked a 57-ball 82. For years, he flattered to deceive in the end, but this season he has come into his own and is now topping the season's run-scoring charts. Now let's have a look at the points table after tonight's match. No movement in the top half of the table. Chennai, Delhi, Bangalore and Kolkata occupy the top 4 spots. A 7-wicket loss to Hyderabad stopped Rajasthan's progress to the top half of the table. They remain at number 6. Hyderabad, despite the win, are at the bottom of the table. But interestingly, if you see, there are as many as 4 franchises, including Kolkata, who are at the top of the table, who are locked at 8 points. So the playoff race gets very, very interesting from here. I'm joined by my guests at this hour. Gautam Bhattacharya, Senior Associate Editor of Gulf News, joins me. Also joining me are 2 fans of 2 teams and Karthik Iyer from Fantasy Gully. Gautam, the first question has to be about the playoff race from here, because as we showed our viewers, 4 teams locked at 8 points.
Yes, Rika, good evening to start with. Yes, this is what happens at the business end of the tournament, that 4th spot, I mean, it's not going to be decided in a hurry. Even RCB, they got to be careful. I mean, they are on 12 points from 10 matches. They need to be at their best. They managed to get their act together. So plenty to play for in the next week or so. And tomorrow again, you have got a very exciting double-header, so to speak.
Absolutely. Very interesting double-header coming up tomorrow on Tuesday. Manish, finally you are smiling after a string of 5 losses. Your captain, Kane Williamson, did manage to turn the corner. Too little, too late. But would you say that this weight on Jason Roy was excruciating?
Well, yes, Rika, finally it is a great feeling to put a win on the board, and it seemed like all the good things seemed to culminate for us into this victory today. And Jason Roy made the most of the opportunity given to him, and we all know him to be the destructive batsman that he is. And our batting looked much more free-flowing today, and also in the death overs, in the final 3 overs, we only conceded 18 runs. So that was a great positive about this victory.
Karthik, coming to you, was Jason Roy a part of your fantasy team tonight?
Definitely. In fact, before the toss, I was also advocating whether he should come in place of David Warner. He did come. In fact, all the batsmen who we selected did reasonably well. So SANJU Samson at the top, then Jason Roy. Lion Livingston was a disappointment, but then Kane Williamson would have featured in most of the teams, because today was a slightly easier team to pick.
I'm really interested to know, did you pick Siddharth Kaul in that team?
No, but I picked Bhuvneshwar Kumar, looking at his experience, and he didn't disappoint me. 4 overs, 1 for 28, pretty decent returns, given like what has been going through the last few games.
Gautam, coming back to you, well, Karthik mentioned about David Warner. He did expect his exclusion. But my question really to you is that, have we seen the last of David Warner in the orange jersey?
Yes, I mean, this is a very intriguing question. He is certainly a shadow of the player who we had seen in the 2016 when he single-handedly won the team their IPL trophy. And in fact, the way Jason Roy, acquitted himself, coming out of the bench, had been out of just the last competitive cricket he may have played in the 100. But it's not easy to come out after 2 to 3 matches in the IPL on a wicket where chasing can be a bit challenging. So it looks like Hyderabad are gradually finding the answers before the mega auction for next year.
Manish, the season has almost come to an end for Sunrisers Hyderabad. All that they can do is now upset a few top teams. But, given how things are panning out now, as a fan, would you say it's a little frustrating to see the youngsters now doing the job that was expected of the likes of Kedar Jadhav, David Warner, and perhaps even Manish Pandey, who was dropped tonight.
Well, it was really a delightful feeling watching our batting become much more free-flowing with the inclusion of the youngsters in our batting lineup today. Priyam Garg, of course, didn't perform, but Abhishek Sharma made it pretty much evident that he was going for the shots and he was going to bat with a higher strike rate than someone like Manish Pandey or Kedar Jadhav did for us. So definitely these youngsters are going to be there in the reckoning for us moving forward in the next edition of the IPL as well. And hopefully they express themselves to the best of their potential in the final 4 games as well.
Well, it wasn't a bad total on the board put up by Rajasthan Royals when they were batting. In fact, it was courtesy their captain SANJU Samson's 82 that they got there. Coming to you, Dinesh, your captain who has been phenomenal in the last few seasons but have never really turned up the way we expected him to be when he played for India. Do you think that this time, despite wearing the orange cap, it is his team that's letting him down?
Certainly, yes, I need to agree that fact. And when you give a responsibility to someone like a SANJU Samson, he has actually risen up to the occasion and he puts up a strong message to the entire team stating that it is the entire team that has to stand up with him and it's not just going to be a one-man show. So he has risen up to the occasion, but sadly, he's not supported by the entire team. It's so much disappointing to see. But having said that, he puts up a very strong message by the individual show that he has actually put up today. And also he has grabbed the orange cap with some 400 plus runs. So it's a good sign for Rajasthan Royals' perspective. And it's high time for the entire team to rise up to the occasion and make sure that they are into the playoffs.
Gautam, when we look at the team Rajasthan Royals, they could have won this match and gone into top 4. They couldn't win because of late brilliance by the Hyderabad team. Would you say that this season what has happened with the team is that they have shown individual brilliance, but when it came to playing collectively, that did not come together?
Yeah, but then you see, if you're talking about Rajasthan Royals, they have been very unlucky with the way they had to come in the second half of the season. Now here, they did whatever they could in terms of replacement. There are some interesting replacements, but you can only play 4, overseas players. I mean, like there is no place for a David Miller because Liam Livingstone is there.
Right.
So overall, their questions remain as it is now. If they look ahead at the next part of the season, that would they like to make their Indian core strong, or again look for they are known to be because of their business interest where the team comes from to take more players from England. These are some of the calls that they have to take. But the good thing is, there is a certain degree of intent which has come into their performance. I would like to thank Kumar Sangakkara maybe for a behind-the-scene role. So we have got to see how far they can go here. They are very much in the running still.
That's an interesting word that you mentioned there, intent. In fact, Yashasvi Jaiswal at the end of the innings, he said what is coming across this season is the show of intent, and that's what he also wishes to show his fans and the Rajasthan Royals public. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the broadcast.